Alright guys, how's it going? Back again for 38, pretty sure it's 38 episode, or trying my best not to say episode. It's gonna be vlog number 38, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check while I get the weather. Let's see. Been a pretty cool day. Let's see. So it looks like yes, this is number 38, so I was right. Day 38, resolutions to reality. The weather for today was, let me see, it's 13 degrees right now. I'm not sure what the highs and the low was, but it didn't seem that cold today, but I guess it was pretty chilly. There's a lot of ice outside, but when you live in the Midwest, you kind of get used to it being pretty frigid. As far as today goes, I got up at about 1:30. Got, everybody who had reached out to me on my phone, responded to and all that goodness. But got a pretty good start on the day. Got up, got dressed, got my lunch. I took a couple cups of noodles to work, and I ate one at work today. Made it to work on time. Work was pretty smooth. I had one issue. Sorry, gnats. I had one issue with some quality stuff that I had made a mistake on, but figured out, what I did wrong and how to avoid doing it going forward. I'll probably get a verbal warning tomorrow from Brandon, but not a big deal. I've gotten one before, which is pretty common when you're in training because, I guess I'm not considered in training anymore. I've been there for, I started January the 10th. Today's February the 8th. Well, the 7th. This is for the 8th, but this is for the 7th, but today's the 8th because it's 12:40 a.m. But, haven't quite been there a month yet, and this will be my second verbal. So, that's a good sign. But, a verbal's not a big deal. It's really just about making sure you don't let the same things continue to happen. But, it's destined to happen. None of us are perfect. So we're going to make mistakes. So, it is what it is. I just got to make sure that I am making sure that everything that I do get verbals for doesn't happen again, because if it does, then it'll be a written, and I don't want that to happen, because that wouldn't be any fun at all. But so far, it's just been growing pains, learning curves, things like that. I haven't really made any major issues. I have had some pretty big issues, but not the same issue twice, which is really all you can do. You got to learn, and this is the way that they teach you here. It's just a part of the environment. I gotta learn to accept it for what it is and not get it in my head about it, because it's real easy for me to get into my head about, making mistakes because I feel like defeated. And I'll get really hard and rough on myself, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna dwell on that. I'm gonna, take it with a grain of salt and do what I can to not let it happen again. The best I can. That's really all I can do. It's just kind of embarrassing. I don't know why, because I mean, like I said, I haven't been there a month yet. And I guess there's this high expectation of me because, it's like I'm so close with my boss, and I mean, I want to be, a good employee, and like I want to figure it out and do stuff right. But there's some things, I just don't know, and I don't know until I mess them up. But there's only so much you can mess up that won't affect your employment there, because they're kind of sticklers about, what can be done wrong and what they will allow. Wow, my hair looks crazy up there, like really crazy. Probably should get my hair twisted because it's looking like it's coming down. But not really worrying about it right now. I'm really focusing more on getting better at what I do. I don't want to get too fast, but I want to get faster, and I want to get to a point where I can do my job without hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to turn my TV on. I'm using my remote on my computer, but it's not showing me how to turn the volume down on this damn thing. And the fucking gnat's back. But so yeah, just trying to get, the main thing that was on my mind when, I was getting told what I did wrong and how messed up the parts were. The main thing that I kept thinking about in my head when it was going on was one thing, and that was be coachable. Be coachable. Don't take it personal. Be coachable, because you want to be able to be taught how to do it right. You don't want to be like what I've been before and just shut down and get upset and feel like, this is a huge deal, because it's not. And sometimes I feel like things are way more than what they are, because, I'm so hard on myself that it's easy for me to take things super personal and get upset and become a recluse like I have mostly done my whole life. But I'm trying hard not to be like that anymore. Mainly because it really hasn't been helpful for me in the past to not be coachable. Being coachable is a learned skill. And I saw that on Instagram, and it was like this guy yelling at this player like he had done something like unsportsmanlike, I guess is what you would call it. And the kid was just like, when he was telling him not to do it, the coach was like screaming at him, like you could see like he was super mad about it. And once he had, hold on, let me turn this TV off because it's just making noise in the background. Let's see. But once he had, why can't I turn the volume down on this? That is so weird. But he was screaming at the kid, and the kid was just like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And I think that's a good lesson for me to learn, is to be coachable, because I've always done my best in sports that were like solo things, like swimming and track, stuff like that. Really, just swimming was the only sport that I was really in that was like a solo sport. And like weightlifting, that really wasn't a sport, but it was something that I did by myself. And being an only child, which is only an excuse, but being an only child, it's easy to forget that a lot of things that are done in life require a team effort, and to not understand the importance of doing things right for the team. But I think a big issue with what is going on with me now is the fact that I don't want to get, I don't want to make my teammates disappointed or look at me as like the weakest link, but I really am. You know, being the lowest man on the totem pole kind of makes you the weakest link. You know, it's up to you to make the best of being in this position, because I mean, I'm not gonna be a trainee or a new person forever. You know, I'm gonna be looked at to do more in the near future, and the only way I'm gonna be able to deliver on that is if I fix the mistakes I'm making now, which aren't huge, major mistakes. It's just things that, you know, the little intricate parts that you only figure out you messed up on once you've done them, once you've already messed them up. But that's something that I have to remind myself about this job all the time, is that it takes one little mistake to cost you your job, because the parts are so expensive. Like, one part is like my whole annual salary, you know, in value to this company. But you have to treat it that way, or it's gonna bite you in the ass. And I'm learning that little by little. I'm learning, but I just need to learn a little faster, and I need to retain things a little better, because I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it, but I'm not getting it like I want to. It's not that I'm not getting it. It's just like, you know, I let outside factors. I'm getting distracted is what really is happening. You know, I'm getting distracted by outside factors, and I'm not paying attention to little details, which happens to all of us. You know, that's the main reason why I have to stop being so hard on myself and stop being so you know, down when I do mess up, because I'm not gonna be perfect. As much as I want to be, I'm just not going to be. And it's like, I have to be able to take criticism, and I have to also be able to be coachable. I have to be able to let someone else tell me that I'm not doing something right, and want to know how to do better, and not take it personally. Not sit and feel like, oh, well, someone's picking on me, or I just can't do this, or make excuses. You know, just be coachable. Just be able to say, hey, I'm good at a lot of things, but I might need some work on something. You know, we all need some work on something. And I think that's something that I can have to offer good for where I work, is that I want to be coachable. Not only that, but I want to be able to take criticism well, and be fluid like water when it comes to things that I need to fix, because I know I'm not going to be perfect at it, and I know I'm not going to be the best at it, but I do think I can be really good as long as I have the right attitude. And I do think that's something that we have to work on daily, because it's not just something that falls out of the sky or that we just figure out overnight. But, you know, it is what it is for now. Other than that, you know, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to try to get my ass in bed here soon. The doctor's appointment is at 9:15, so I'm gonna try to get to bed by like before 2 o'clock, and then be back up at like, I'm gonna say I'll try to be up by 8:30 to get there at 9:15. I should probably be leaving at 8:30 to get there at 9:15. It's like a 30-minute. It's not a 30-minute drive. It's not too far, but I don't think it'll be too long of an appointment. So I'm gonna try to get there early. Try to get there by 9. If I leave at 8:30, I should get there by 9. And then if I'm 15 minutes early, that's not a big deal. I don't think it'll be a huge issue. But probably get up at 8, leave at 8:30, something like that. Yeah, gotta make it to the doctor. Also need to schedule a eye exam with an eye doctor somewhere around here, because I haven't got my eye insurance information in the mail yet, but I'm expecting it soon. When I do get it, I'll make the appointment then so I can get me some glasses. But as of right now, I'm kind of in like a limbo of waiting on my insurance information so that I can reach out to a doctor that's in the network. But what was I about to say? I did call about my driver's license. Well, I didn't call about them. I inquired about them online because they are suspended right now. So I inquired about what it's going to take to get them reinstated, and it looks like, so I've had to have SR22 insurance, which is just like proof of financial responsibility. Something that it costs a little extra when you get insurance to have SR22. And it's mainly because I got into an accident with no insurance of like a lot of years back, probably about 5 years back. And so I've had to have SR22 for a few years. But I looked online, and it says that the only thing, well, the SR22, me having to have that falls off next month on the 14th. So I think I'm going to wait until after next month to get insurance, so it'll be cheaper without the SR22. And then I have a judgment on my license for that same accident, which will remain on my license. Will continue to keep my license invalid until August of 23 next year. So I called that law firm where the judgment is at, and I requested to set that up on an arrangement, because apparently I owe like $3,600 left. So I'm gonna set that up on an arrangement so that I can be up to date with that and have it to where I'm making payments on that, which will keep my license valid, and then I'll get insurance next month, so that I can have insurance and the judgment taken care of, and not be driving on suspended license anymore. So super excited about that. I should have valid license by next month. I mean, if I can get insurance, I mean, without insurance, I can have valid license next month as long as I'm making those payments on that judgment. But I still want to get insurance so that I'm not just, driving around with no insurance anymore, because that's so dangerous, and it worries me a lot. Insurance isn't cheap, and it's not as cheap. It's not. I mean, the offer that I made to the law firm was $100 down and $100 a month, which, if we count up the months until next August, it'll be like $1,900. And $1,900 minus the 36 means they will have recouped a large amount. I mean, it was 48, so I've paid it down to the 36. But so 36 minus 1900, clear. I only owe $1,700 left on that judgment, and I think they'll probably settle it at that. I mean, if not, I'll keep paying on it until it's gone because I don't want it to go on my credit or nothing like that. But it feels good to be able to get that stuff underway and like the wheels turning on that, because it worries me a lot driving around with no license, and I don't want to keep being stressed out when I'm behind the wheel because I don't have a valid license. And now that I'm making my child support payments, that's not something that's holding that back. So I want to make sure I keep everything up to date, and that I can use that as a way to get a little bit further in life, and not have to worry about, police bothering me, or risking my freedom just to drive around, because that's what I've been doing. But yeah, so I mean, definitely getting the wheels turning in a lot of different avenues of my life to make improvements and see benefits of having this job. And I don't want to stop now because, I mean, these little mistakes I'm making can really make you feel, kind of about things. But it's a learning experience, It's all about what I can do to make adjustments and be better about mistakes that I make. Because, I mean, we're all going to make them. It's just about figuring out how to not make the same ones twice. And that's a lot easier than not making them at all, is figuring out how to not make the same ones twice. Because once you make one and they tell you about it, it kind of sticks. Like for me personally, the first one that they told me about was it's what we call pre-weigh, which is when we weigh the parts before they get coated. So I had a part that was like 29 grams, 0.29 grams different than what the rest of the parts were. And now, like when I pre-weigh stuff, I always pay close attention to what I'm doing with it, because I know if I mess up something else on pre-weigh, chances are I'm going to get written up. And if you get written up, it really affects your raise. So I want to make sure I don't, mess myself up as far as financially, going forward, making those mistakes. But part of me wants to think that it's like a system to where they're like targeting you early on for your mistakes to keep you from getting raises and to prevent you from, being eligible for them because of things that, you've made mistakes on. But I'm just not even going to entertain that mentality, because whether it is or it is not, I'm going to strive to beat that system, because I'm not here to get my raises taken, and I'm not here to make mistakes to the point where it's jeopardizing my job. I need this job way too much to be taking things personal and being childish about, how things are set up. It's all in my control. I'm well aware of the fact that I control the outcome each time I sign my name on these job routers, and signifying that I've completed something. I'm well aware that it's up to me to make sure it's right or not, and if it's not, then it's my fault to take the blame. And I don't have any issues, being called out on mistakes, and I can't blame somebody else for what they don't teach me, because I have to ask questions. But at the end of the day, I'm not in this game to lose. I'm in this game to win. So it's up to me to want to do what it takes to be a winner or be a loser. And regardless of what corners I see other people cut and things that I watch other people get away with that I don't, doesn't matter. It's all about doing what I gotta do and doing it right. And that's the attitude I want to keep. I want to make sure I do things right and I'm honest and that I know the benefits of that will speak volumes later on because I'm sowing the right kind of seeds into this place. I don't want to sow the seeds of getting away with things that I'm doing wrong and hiding my mistakes from people. I don't want to get into the habit of that. I don't want to sow those kind of seeds. I want to be trustworthy. I want to be dependable. And I want to be able to be coachable. I want to be able to be helpful and have the right attitude about how the things work and really just keep the same mentality that I've had, up until now. I mean, this hasn't changed my attitude towards my job. It's just like, it's not very often that I get, corrected, but I think that needs to be changed because if you've been in any job for under a month and you're not getting told on a regular basis how to do things correctly, I feel like they're kind of just like not realizing what I am doing wrong that neither of us are realizing because there's a lot of things that I question that I'm doing. It's just like I don't ask because I feel like I need to take the initiative to figure it out. It's not the kind of mentality you want to have at the job I'm at now. You don't want to have the I'll figure it out mentality because that's what leads to bigger issues. And even if I don't know the answers to some things, there are people there that do. And I got to start taking advantage of that fact because it's not that I don't think my team lead is there to help me or that I can't ask the questions or that it makes me feel stupid if I ask them. It's just that I'm not asking them. I'm trying to be smarter than what I really am. When all along the smartest thing to do is to ask somebody else because I don't know. And that's just something that I've decided I'm going to start taking advantage of is like I'm not going to sit here and be ashamed to ask stupid questions. I'm not going to sit here and watch myself drown myself because I'm trying to take an initiative to do things without knowing what I'm actually doing. I'm going to ask, be told what's right, and make sure the answer that I get is clear and that I understand it before I move on because it's like a lot of stuff I'll do that with naturally. I'll be like, hey, what is this? Well, help me understand what this is for, why I'm doing this. And some stuff that I think I know, like the issue that I had today, I really didn't. Like, the thing that I messed up on was the fact that there are these cotter pins in the tooling that we're supposed to bend towards the tooling to where it masks off a part of the tooling a part of the part that's not supposed to be coated. And I know for a fact that I let a few parts get by me that weren't up to par, even to my standard, and I didn't even know what the standard was. But when my team lead came over and was helping me defixture, he noticed that, yeah, these parts are messed up because the trailing edge, which is the end of the part that's supposed to be masked, wasn't underneath the part of the tooling that covers it good enough to keep it from getting coated. So it got coated on parts that wasn't supposed to get coated. And I take full responsibility for that. I take full accountability for that. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, nobody told me to do that or I wasn't supposed to. Nope. I'm going to do what should be done each and every time that I have issues like this. Just like what happens when I run into an issue with pre-weigh and post-weigh. When I see a part that's out of conformity and I know it's not, before I do anything else, go get my team lead, tell them, hey, come check this out. I got one. I found one. You know, I don't know why it's not weighing right. I don't know why the scale's not acting right, but you come look at it. So before we finish up, we can both have an understanding that I told you what this was. We're well aware of the issue, and I came to you about how to fix it because I don't know. So from now on, moving forward, when I'm doing that part type, before I put them into the chamber, before I get everything ready to do, before I go to the next step, if I have a question about it, whether I have a question about it or not, I'm coming straight to him, and I'm like, hey, I need you to come check this because I don't want to hear nobody else's mouth about me doing it wrong, and I don't care if I'm on your nerves or you don't feel like doing it or you trust me. Don't trust me. I don't trust my damn self. Come look at this shit because not just my job depends on it, my finances depend on it, my raise depends on it. I can't get these mistakes twice. So it's like they say on 300 Persians or whatever the dude's names was, we gonna put their name to the test. That's what I'm saying right now. Team leads, we gonna put that name to the test because if I know this is something that I've made a mistake on already, and you're the one that points it out to me and tells me that, you know, going forward, if you have a question about it later on, just come get me. Okie dokie. That's all I need to know. That's the only information that I need to know, that when the problem comes up again, come on up. It don't even have to be a problem. When I'm doing these parts, anytime I have these parts in front of me and I'm responsible for it, and I'm trying to be sure that I'm doing it right, or if I have a question about it, come up out of that office, partner. Come on over here, put your money where your mouth is, and show me that it's right. So when it ain't right, if it come out again, it ain't just on me. It's on both of us because I told you before I put it in there. And we'll go from there, you know. But I'm not going to let little silly mistakes and silly errors that, you know, I've been warned about lead me down the road where it messes up my finances, because I want my raises. I want my extra little money. I come to work every day to do my job good, better than good, as best I can. You know, I want to do my job like Michael Jordan did his job, better than anybody else out there. And that's hard to do. That's a high expectation. But you know what? I'm not going to lower my expectations because I made mistakes. I'm going to raise my standards, and I'm going to put every resource I have around me to good use and get it figured out. Point blank, period. That's all there is to it. And just like every other day, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Adios.